Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with code Geass. We're on episode 4 now. So yeah, quick summary. Last episode, obviously Lelouch killed his brother Prince Clovis, allegedly. And by doing so, they have blamed the death on Suzaku. So Lelouch's actions have put his best friend in danger. So how is this going to go down? So they're just going to go save them? I'd hope so, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So yeah, don't think there's anything else to really talk about other than that. It's a little good quick summary of what we probably can expect in this episode. So without further ado, let's just get straight into episode 4. Let's go.
Geass, the power to command others to do absolutely anything. To avenge his mother and create a world where his younger sister Nonnally can find
Yeah, she had her eyes open.
all the while knowing at the end of his quest, the Britannian Emperor, his father, awaits. Or at least, that was the hope Lelouch carried in his heart back then.
His name is Zero.
Do you know anything about this weapon? Suzaku Kururugi. It was the one used to rob Prince Clovis of his life. The barrel striations leave no doubt, and we've done a little homework on you as well. You're the eldest child of Japan's last acting prime minister, are you not? Your motive here is clear.
You're making a mistake. I have never even laid eyes on that gun.
We found your fingerprints all over this weapon. You're also suspected of murdering members of the Royal Guard.
That was Suzaku they mentioned on the news, wasn't it?
Yep, it looks like he's still alive.
Yeah, it's been ages. We haven't seen him since the war ended.
Truly, this has been a painful incident for all. The Viceroy of Area 11, our beloved Prince Clovis, has been lost to us forever.
We've lost the most crucial part of the equation.
Can we do it without him?
Don't I wish? The other units never let go of a good pilot. And even if we got one, they'd never match his readings. His operational efficiency clocked in at 94%, and you want to replace him?
The purebloods what?
Well, from what I understand, they're saying that only pure-blood Britannians should be allowed to serve in the military.
Their view is one of their own can never be a criminal.
Britannia's resounding victory over Japan opened the unenlightened nation's eyes to its true place in today's world order. Since then, the Empire and Area 11 have walked hand in hand down the road to revival.
1600 hours at Tokyo Tower. Why here of all places?
Hi, I'm assuming this phone is yours, ma'am.
Interesting.
Something wrong? It is yours,
Phone,
isn't it?
give it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Phone probably hand, like Lelouch probably handed it in
there's
on
no
someone.
debating it. Life is better here thanks to Prince Clovis. I mean, it's all due to Britannia that we could rebuild as quickly as we did. I'm happy about that.
Zero?
That's the code name he's going by.
I want you to board the outbound train on Loop Line 5 and bring your friends.
What?
You handled His Highness's memorial program very well. A little too weepy for my tastes, but...
Yes, well, the masses tend to like tearjerkers, Your Excellency.
Ever thought of enlisting? The army could use more men like you.
I don't think it would be a very good fit. Not really my cup of tea.
You prefer the civil sector, I take it? No matter. I have another favor to ask of you.
Lord Jeremiah, there are those among the 11s who see Private Kururugi as a hero. Some might very well make an attempt to free him.
I'll be there personally aboard my Sutherland. If anyone even thinks of causing trouble, they'll be executed on the spot.
Face forward and look to your right. What do you see?
The Britannian city. It was stolen away from us and built on our sacrifice.
And on the left?
I see our city. Remnants of a desiccated city after the Britannians sucked it dry.
Good answer. Now make your way to the front of the train.
Those wishing to transfer to the Juo-Sobu line should exit at the next
That guys,
stop.
they're all mind controlled. They're all being ordered.
What do you think of my tour of the settlement?
Your tour? There's a difference between us and them. A very harsh one. And that's why we resist them.
You're wrong. Britannia will not fall to terrorism. You should know your enemy. It is not people, but Britannia itself. It is a war you must wage, but not on the innocent. Take up your sword. Fight for justice. Bear witness to my power. If I deliver to you the impossible, then I might have earned your trust.
Congratulations! Those two you asked me about weren't on the list of casualties.
That's good to hear.
Not much luck on your end, though. You may be getting a trial, but no one is pulling for you, certainly.
But the courts are where truth comes to light.
I expect there will be more smoke and mirrors than anything. The truth is scarce of late.
If that's how the world works, then so be it. I've no regret.
I can see them! They have the suspect! Suzaku Kururugi is headed this way!
Like clockwork. What a circus this is. And I'm as corrupt as any of them.
The court deemed our testimony inadmissible. There's nothing we can do.
Yes, but...
Is that altruism or humanitarianism?
This isn't the time for a game of semantics.
Voices of scorn, growing ever louder. Voices bearing testament to a people's love of their prince. Raining their judgment down on a terrorist.
Suzaku!
Margrave Jeremiah, integral in settling this case, will be presiding over the trial as acting consul.
It was his word to save Suzaku Kururugi.
Right. No need to turn back.
So that's who he's getting then.
The die is cast.
Do you believe the target could be a terrorist vehicle?
Well, sir, it's Prince Clovis's car.
The prince's car? Well, looks like we've got a comedian. Don't worry about it. Just let him through to us. All forces, halt here!
It's Prince Clovis's personal transport! And it's heading straight for the cavalcade!
Heading straight at him.
Such a
What's
weird...
he planning?
That's a weird car.
Hope they can't tell it's fake.
I'll need this by tomorrow. All that matters is the exterior.
You dare desecrate His Highness's transport? Come out of there!
Oh my god, what a veteran.
I am Zero.
Zero? What do you mean, like nothing?
Is he an 11?
Now to return the favor, Suzaku.
I've seen enough, Zero. This little show of yours is over.
What in the...
Jeremiah, be careful. He's got the...
Yes, Jeremiah.
He's gotta act like it's poison
saw
gas.
inside this thing,
Yeah,
so you assume
yeah.
it holds poison gas.
You bastard! He's taken every Britannian here hostage. And he's done it without them even knowing it! Amateurs. Fine. What are your demands?
In exchange, this for Kururugi.
Like hell. He's charged with high treason for murdering a prince.
He's no murderer.
It was me.
The man who killed Clovis was myself. Find that to be a bargain.
This is all one big performance to him.
He's mad, I tell you! Disguising this truck as His Highness's, he'll pay the price for mocking the crown!
If I die, it'll all go public. If you don't want that to happen...
What are you talking about? What is this?
You'll do everything in your power to let us go. You're prisoner as well.
Oh shit!
Right,
Man,
understood.
the
You
balls
there,
on
release
him. The
prisoner.
balls.
What on earth are you doing, my lord?
Hand him over. Nobody gets in his way.
What are you thinking? You can't do this!
Lord Kuel, this is an order.
So who the hell are you?
As I thought, they didn't allow you to speak.
It's time to go, Zero.
Well then, till next time.
You cowardly 11! Lord Jeremiah, what are you?
You heard me. Stand down now.
Nice.
They're not alone and there's nowhere for you to run!
Lord Kuel, are you going to follow orders or not? And believe me, there will be repercussions. All units, do I make myself clear? Do everything in your power to help them get away.
Gotta give the guy some credit, though. Gotta admit it, nobody else could have pulled that off. Not the Japanese Liberation Front. Certainly not me.
Looks like they treated you rather roughly. Now you know what they're really like, Private Kururugi. Britannia is rotten. If you wish to bring change to this world, then join me.
So is it true? Are you really the one who killed Prince Clovis?
This is war. Why wouldn't I kill an enemy commander? Come join me. The Britannia you serve is a worthless dominion.
Maybe that's true, but this nation, it can be changed for the better, and from within. Changed?
From within, yeah.
And any
I figured.
ends gained through contemptible means aren't worth anything. My court-martial begins in an hour.
Are you mad? The only reason they're giving you a trial is to find you guilty! The judge, the prosecution, and defense!
Rules are rules. And if I don't go, they'll start cracking down on 11s and honorary Britannians.
But you'll die!
I don't mind.
Don't be an idiot!
An old friend of mine always used to tell me that. He'd say I was a fool. And if I'm going to die, it'll be in the service of the people. Even so, I thank you for saving me.
You fool!
Yes, apparently. Private Kururugi has made contact with the authorities. It would seem this Zero has released him. However, now that the original charges against him have been thrown into question, it's very possible Kururugi will be found innocent and acquitted. For a legal perspective on all of this, we now turn to our legal analyst,
Miss Sayako?
Oh shit! Okay, right, episode 4. Shit. So Suzaku is for the people then. Which is fairly obvious. I mean, I did say in previous episodes that he's trying to, do things from within, change it from within. So I'm glad I got that right. Yeah, so he turned down Lelouch because he obviously doesn't want a full-out war. He wants to try and make peace by sort of letting things go the way they are. I mean, either way, it's kind of... Either way is not an ideal situation. Because if you let it happen, right, then there's going to be a clear distinction between those who are Britannians and those who are like Japanese or 11s, right? And like those who are half-bloods, apparently, you know what I mean? So it ends up becoming like a race problem. You know what I mean? And like that can cause just, straight separation, which is not ideal. And then of course a full-on war is not ideal either because there's going to be casualties. But yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a great way to tell a story, having these two on different sides. And yet, ultimately, the same goal wants to be achieved. It's just how you get there, kind of thing, what you do to make that happen. It seems to be that there is a and I don't know if this is just like propaganda or not. If this is what the Britannians are telling the people, it's sort of like a fake story kind of thing, where Japan was not great as it was. Britannians come in, change stuff around, make it better. That seems to be what they're saying. With that like museum thing they had there, and obviously Suzaku said it as well. But it could just be propaganda to change the minds of the public, like it's the easy way to get people on your side and to get them like under control. Come in for war and then, you know what I mean, when in reality it's to take control. Just tell it to the people as if like, oh no, we're doing this for your benefit. You know what I mean? We're making this place better, kind of thing. And I mean, the thing is like when from what I've seen, like all I can say is it would be better without the Britannian Empire there. I mean, to me, that is quite clearly obvious at this point in time. You know what I mean? They clearly have a superiority complex about them. You know what I mean? They put down anybody who isn't a Britannian. You know, they allow some of them to become honorary members, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, clearly anybody who isn't a Britannian is not as valuable or as held in high regard as they are. So for me, I'm on the Lelouch's side as of right now, because I like. I mean, yeah, it's normally never good to fight fire with fire, but I mean, if I'm thinking of, like, you know, what could this end up being if Britannia are just left to do their thing? I mean, you know, with that superiority complex, like, I can't see it really turning out very well for anyone, you know. Even with Suzaku on the inside trying to change stuff, like, because at the end of the day, he's an 11, you know what I mean? He's Japanese, so they're not going to allow him to rise, like for him to rise through the ranks, are they? So, you know what I mean? Like, how much can he really change from in there? Whereas with Lelouch, you know what I mean? He has the ability to change stuff on a massive scale, get rid of the Britannian Empire, let it flourish as it once was, you know what I mean? But I mean, we don't know what Japan was like before they turned up. Before the Britannian Empire turned up and whatnot, so, you know, but like, from the state of the place it is now, like, you know what I mean, from what I saw, like, the Britannian Empire just literally came in, demolished the cities and whatnot, took it over, told everyone we're in charge now. It's like, you know, it's clearly not a great sign, is it? So, I mean, I have to be on the Lucius side right now. Okay. So Geass is the name of the power. That's what it is. I guess the king, Lelouch's father, had multiple wives then, and that's what they are. They're just offshoots. That's why you've got, like, loads of half, sort of not pure in line to the throne kind of thing. So there's, like, loads of different offshoots of this family, and Lelouch is obviously one of them. So I imagine he has some hatred towards his father, I imagine. There is something that they said in the beginning, which was like, you know, the eventual facing his father and whatnot at the end of all of this. But then it was like that's what he hoped. So it's not going to go obviously the way that Lelouch plans, I guess. Suzaku was the eldest son of Japan's last prime minister. So, I mean, yeah, that would probably make sense as to why Lelouch and Suzaku were close. Like, if you get higher ups, you know, crossing paths and whatnot, you know what I mean, the two kids of a prime minister, one of the prime minister, one of the king, you know what I mean, they cross paths and whatnot, get to know each other, become best friends that way. Makes sense. They were changing it up so that only purebloods can join the military. And this was in regards to, because obviously with Suzaku being an honorary member, he's actually 11, them thinking that he killed Prince Clovis, obviously being a traitor, they didn't want, you know, the idea that anybody from 11 could be a traitor. So I don't know if that's still going through. I don't know if after this whole thing went down, if they are going to rescind that. I have a feeling they are not going to rescind it. Although it does bring into question, like, what are they going to do with Suzaku now then? Because they're not going to kill him. I don't think they're going to do that. They're not going to You know, they're not going to put him to death for this, for the treason. But why would they let him back into the military after that? And like, obviously, and now that they've got him back, they can, like, the scientists and whatnot can will want to use him again in that mech. But if he's in that mech, then surely he's a part of the military. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe the scientists and whatnot didn't have leeway with the treason thing, but maybe you can have leeway of bringing him back into the military. So maybe that's something that'll go ahead with future, like the future next, like, I don't know, like 5-6 episodes maybe, like, of the scientists like wanting to get Suzaku back into the military. So because obviously nobody else can pilot that thing apparently, so he's just got compatibility with it. Yeah, Lelouch's codename Zero. I was wondering where the hell did he get that get-up from? Like, where did he get, like, the helmet and all of that shit? I mean, I guess he's part of the royal family, so he's got to have, like, some sort of, like, wealth to him. But, like, I thought he was, like, in hiding. So I don't know. Just wonder where he got it from. The camera guy's interesting. The guy with the ponytail, who met with Jeremiah. He seems to like Lelouch's act. I don't know what his name is, but like the guy with the ponytail, like, he seems like an interesting character because he doesn't quite seem like he's on either side. He sort of like hangs around. I think he's like a third party kind of guy. Like, he's kind of just letting things flow the way they flow. And just being on the sidelines. And maybe he's just trying to get some entertainment out of it. Because he liked to see, he was loving this, to see that whole Lelouch thing go down. So yeah, I feel like that guy's like a third party kind of thing, and he just kind of, he's like on his own. He just lets things go the way they do, and he just hangs out and loves it. I feel like that's the way it is anyway. So yeah, episode 4, nice. Really liking this show. Really am. It's got to, it's interesting story wise. I think, you know what I mean. Like, it has a lot of story beats that, you know, can be used across, like, in a lot of different stories. Where, you know what I mean, like, there's a lot of this where, like, oh, you have to fight your father and shit like that. Like, it's pretty common. Or like, you know what I mean, it's like sort of like you could have that like best friend versus best friend kind of thing. But here it seems to be doing it a hell of a lot more intriguingly. I don't know if Suzaku picked up on the fact that, because I don't know if Suzaku was really all that smart. I think he's just very empathetic with the people. You know, so Suzaku's like probably like not the smartest one, but he's like, you know what I mean, he's very combat efficient, shit like that. So but he might be, I don't know. But I'm just wondering if he picked up on the fact that was actually Lelouch. But he just didn't want to point it out, because, you know, obviously there was a friend like that. He said, like, I used to have a friend that used to say that to me all the time. Whether he picked up on it or not, I wonder. But like, it seems to me like, you know, they're doing it well with the idea, because it's not best friend versus best friend. They still care about each other, but they're on separate sides of the war kind of thing, right? So, you know, you have that whole thing going on throughout this whole thing. The interesting bits will always come to the front where them two are on the field of battle, or, you know, amidst the war when them two are in the same vicinity. Interesting shit can go down, as opposed to it being just straight up like fighting each other. Like, you know what I mean, it's interesting because whether they don't know like it's each like for example when Suzaku was in his mech and Lelouch was in one of the stolen Sutherlands that he had, and they didn't know it was each other. It's interesting. You know, and then obviously in this one where obviously Lelouch knowing it was Suzaku all along, because obviously like it's just Suzaku, he's got nothing to hide him, and then Suzaku not knowing it was Lelouch. So you've got these interesting little dynamics that can happen with this, because ultimately they want the same goal. They just want to go about it through different means, and if this turns out into a full-out war, it's going to be interesting to see how they interact. And obviously we haven't seen anything of the king, his Lelouch's father, so whatever comes to fruition from that, I can't really theorize because I don't know what his father's like. I have this image of him being very not sympathetic to anybody. Obviously he's the one that must have given up Japan for Britannia to take them over, because I mean they're using his sons to be the face of the Britannian Empire, right? And that's the thing with the Britannian Empire, like I just don't trust them, and that's why I'm on Lelouch's side, because like, you know what I mean, like when Suzaku says no, like we can do this and we can make Japan better with like the Britannian Empire doing it from within, you know what I mean, but it's like, well, that's going to be a hell of a fucking hard road, considering he's not going to be able to rise up through the ranks, and they've obviously got ulterior motives, and they are using actual natives of Japan to be a face and almost fake like everything's okay, when in reality it's not. And you know what I mean, they don't show things on the news, like, you know what I mean, like they go into Shinjuku and mass murder all these fucking people, and they don't show it on the news, you know what I mean, so they're hiding shit. It's a facade and all of that, so like honestly I just don't trust them. And you know, that obviously with the king, he's obviously the one who must have had the say and be like, yeah, you can use these for, like, I don't know, was he saving his own skin? I don't know. I feel like the king probably has more of a stern sort of like personality. I feel like he's going to be a hell of a lot, he's not going to be sympathetic at all. I feel like I feel like he's going to be very stern. I feel like he's going to not care about Lelouch. I think he'll be like, oh, hello, son. You know what I mean? But he's not going to be like, you know what I mean? He's not going to have that like fatherly fucking relationship with him. I mean, hence why like obviously if he's had these multiple wives and whatnot and shit, and obviously he's not going to care really, is he? They would have just been his maidens. So yeah. However that's going to go down, we're going to have to see in the future. But that is all for now, so thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.